So welcome to everyone at Facebook. Welcome to today's live broadcast, Tuesday the 28th of February. I've been sweating it out here. I've had problems with my connection, so I've had to just play play technician and play a little bit of tango with my Wi-Fi and all of that, which is what you can sometimes expect when you're dealing with tech. And unfortunately, it's still happening on my Instagram feed, the connection, which is really weird. Why does it do that? Why does it do that? Why can't things just work? Drives me insane. Anyway, I hope you're all really well. To anyone that's joined me back here, I am a few minutes late. I hate being late, but yeah, I just couldn't hit that live button, and I'm letting Instagram peeps down. I'll have to while we're doing this, just turn it on. When all else fails, turn on and off. Hey, let's try one more time. So where is everybody at? How are you all doing? Is anyone here? I am happy to have a chat as we'll get things going, but might have to not worry about it. But today, so for those of you, I'm running an experiment at the moment. So I'm just running an experiment on how I can do live broadcasts more efficiently and effectively when it comes to my own business and generating content regularly. And as we all know, part of just being successful in any type of marketing or business initiative is to be consistent with it. And I've really struggled with live broadcasting, or really when it comes to content creation. I think for any small business or marketer, when you're doing it yourself, it can be quite a challenge. So I am always working with different strategies and systems, and also what applies to other people doesn't always apply to me and my lifestyle and the business that I'm trying to create. So I've meshed together a strategy for myself that I wanted to put in place, but it caused me great hesitation to just go forth and do it because it's new and it's different, and I don't know if I'm going to completely I just don't know where I'm going to go with it. But if you don't just do it, you'll never ever know. So hello, we're live on Instagram now, so hello to those of you joining us on Instagram. Sorry for the delay. I have had some connection issues today, which hey, nothing's blown up, nothing's everything's still intact, so I'm trying not to freak out too much that I didn't hit that 10 o'clock, which is actually a really great thing. And what I want to talk to everyone today is about productivity, especially when you work alone. I think regardless of whether you're flying solo in your business or you work for an organization, I think we are living in an age where we are taking more and more and more on, and the time in the day just gets squeezed shorter and shorter. So what I wanted to share with, I've applied some tools in what I would consider now probably my second chance at flying solo in my business, because it's something that it didn't quite work out the first time. I didn't quite have any system or any strategy. I didn't even think I needed one, because I've always worked quite successfully independently and alone. So I thought. I didn't work successfully and independently when I was completely alone. Like, there's no more oak tree that I can sit under and feel protected and secure. It was really, if this is meant to be, it's up to me. And I started going down a bit of a path that was a bit dangerous, in the sense that I lost my funk quite a bit. So what I have for you, I've come up with and defined 5 things to really get your groove on, increase your productivity when you're flying solo or working alone, or finding that you can get overwhelmed by tasks or not getting stuff done, which I was totally, I would have a million things and then do kind of nothing because I would feel really overwhelmed. So just to give you a backstory really quickly into how I'm here now running a training and mentoring business. So I create a lot of training and workshops for tourism and social media and digital marketing, and something that I've always prided myself on is do as I do, not as I say I do. So anything that I'm passing on to other businesses, I am essentially, it's something that I've tried, tested, failed, tried again, maybe failed again, then tried again, test, measure, try, then woohoo, we have a win here. Here's how to do this. Save yourselves a whole heap of time and do this. So that's where I'm coming from with this as well, because this has been a really key topic for me. And yeah, like I just wanted to go back and give you a backstory to how I'm here in my little off studio, which I like to call, it's an office/studio to make all this happen. So I can see, and I'm not a lighting specialist, but I did go pro and got some soft lighting that has come up above me, just so that, day, night, rain, hail, beautiful sunshine, that I can still have a bit of even lighting and it looks semi the same. And I wanted a studio space that I just never have to move stuff, that I don't have to go from here to somewhere else, or where there's light, where there's this, just something that is standard, that I can just sit here and chat and share. So I've always worked in tourism, I've always worked in small businesses, I've always really enjoyed, loved and done that with great passion, and I could never see myself doing anything else until I hit the 10-year mark at my beloved Global Ballooning, a hot air balloon business based, a hot air balloon business based in Richmond, Melbourne, Victoria, one of the best cities in the world, not just because it wins it every year for the last how many years. It really is a wonderful city for anyone that's joining us from overseas. But what I found at my 10-year mark, I started getting the itch, and like, oh man, 10 years, am I still green, and am I still growing, or am I getting, am I kind of ripe now? And if I don't do something different, I'll start kind of going a little bit back. Let me see here, we've had another technical malfunction, but that's okay. That's what this is about. So when I was at Global, so I got so it came to 10 years, and I thought, I know what I'll do to celebrate the milestone of my 10-year anniversary at Global. I write a book, and I joined, what is now a super successful booking retreat. Was the very first one Miguel Powell in Biz, Natasha Denman did, and I produced this Adventures of a Balloon Girl. I thought, right, this will settle me down. I can take everything out of here and share it on to my colleagues and the industry that I love, and move on with the next chapter. Pardon the pun. But what soon happened, I just loved the sharing, and now I say, I teach, and really I'm just passing on a lot of, being an avid reader and learner, and, completely addicted to studying myself. I consider myself a professional sharer in the marketplace. So what I've done here, so it came to 10 years, the itch continued, and I thought, you know what, this team here at Global, it's the best team that we've ever had, and in effect I think that I've kind of made myself redundant. I think my time here is done, because now I can feel really confident and comfortable after such a long time to pass the baton on to a new chapter for the business. And so I did, and the business has gone even further and higher and elevated to another level, because they are because there's some, it's now got new fresh blood and new fresh people and approach, and I just love the guys and really proud of them. And as hard as it was so hard to let go and say, you know, I'm moving on. But but it was the right for everyone, for global, for my family, a big catalyst for making these decisions, and of course for myself. But what happened after that? I didn't have a job to go to. I didn't have the next thing lined up, and I didn't really know that this is what I wanted to do. I didn't have a clear vision around it, you could say. So when it came to like being solo and being on my own, the fact is it took me a while to realize that I really hated it. I hated working from home. I really didn't enjoy being alone. I found I love being surrounded by people and get really inspired and energized being around people. And then as soon as an opportunity came up to join the corporate world and go forth and have some security, have some structure, and have a schedule and a routine, I jumped at the chance and found that didn't quite work out either. So now I knew I needed to change a lot of things to make this work. And the 5 things that I wanted to share with you that have made a huge difference in the way that I'm getting things done and getting through projects and getting through also just feeling comfortable with being uncomfortable like we are now, which is a really big one. I guess the very first one is, and something I'd love to pass on to you, reconnect with the very core, the very center, the very heart of what makes you hardcore. My family and I, we love that movie School of Rock, you know, where he sings that song about being hardcore. Hey, Achillea. So the heart of that is reconnect with the core of what makes you hardcore. And I guess that's really coming from a place of reconnecting with what you, not only what you love and what you're passionate about, but where your strengths lie. What are you good at, and what makes you get up in the morning? Like, since even starting this I mean, it's only been my 2nd day of doing the live broadcast, but it's really put a different spin on the day, because I had to prepare something. I had to dress up a little bit nicer. So I am really enjoying and found that what I really do love and what's at the core of what makes me hardcore, what really makes me get out of bed, is connecting. And what I'm coming to realize, like my friend here for Achillea from Greece, is that we don't need to be in the same, we don't need to physically be in the same room to feel connected. And that was my big aha moment of what I was missing, that was starting to get me overwhelmed, a bit down. Some days I was questioning, am I heading down depression here? What is going on? I'm just not feeling the funk and, you know, enjoying what I'm doing. But even the fact, even if no one is watching now, the fact that I'm just sharing and being in this, you know, and putting something out there that's going to connect me to some like-minded people, even something that's putting something out there that might help someone else, will make me get out of bed again tomorrow, until I can get better at mastering what I'm experimenting with here. So the number 2 thing that has worked amazingly, now I remember my very first mentor had said, like, declutter, just start throwing stuff out. Like, you need to go through and declutter your stuff and start with your kitchen. And I was saying, hey, Nico, I can't see who is and who isn't. Yeah, I'll just figure I'm staying committed, I'm staying consistent, as uncomfortable as this is. So, yeah, thank you for saying that, Nico. So the number two thing, my mentor said this to me years ago, like I'm talking 10 years ago. Declutter, get rid of stuff. Get rid of your stuff in the home, and then you will find it will infiltrate into other things and areas of your life. And it was one of those like, yeah, I'll do that, but again, never got around to it. This time around, when I decided it's a new chapter, again, no, I know wholeheartedly, 100%, this is what I'm not only going to do, I'm meant to do, I was born to do, I have to make this work. I had this insatiable need to decrapify not only my office, but my whole entire house. I did not leave any prisoners, no cupboard, no closet, no nothing. The shed, even the garden shed, I left nothing to unopened or kind of revised. So I went by with this, and I forgot her name. There's a book that's called The Secret Magic of Tidying Up. I'll go and research. I can't, but I remember and I'm talking. This is this is a while ago, and yeah, but finally, so I said, well, a lot of people say, you got to kind of create the space. And I did that, but not only with stuff, not only with getting rid of stuff, which, I had two rules. Haven't worn it or haven't used it in the last 12 months, either throw it away or give it away. And that's exactly, there was no eBay involved. There was no Facebook, does anyone want this? It was just, if it's too crappy for the kids and our house is too crappy for anyone else, bin. If it's still usable, workable, clean and good, off we go and we give it to someone else. So that's with stuff. But the other thing I decluttered and reviewed, and excuse me here while I just check in with my people at Periscope. So I'm just going to go in here again. The other thing is reviewing and decluttering what I've ingested. So things like alcohol, boom, out of my life. 7 months now, not a drop. And you're speaking to someone that loved wine, especially Victorian wine and Australian wine. But it was something that, it just, is it inspiring me? Nah. Is it, is it good for me? Does it make me feel good? Yeah, for a minute, but then I couldn't stand the headache. So it's like, well, why am I still doing this? I just want to be clear. I want to be fresh. I want to be at my best. Ouzo, I love ouzo. I love ouzo. I love a good scotch, but I've had nothing. And test it. And again, it was an experiment to start with. It wasn't something that I did. I said, right, I'm going to go on this detox, because I've done that before. I just said, I'm going to experiment going without this for a little while. And yeah, and then as the little while, the 1 week turned into 2 weeks, then the 1 month turned into 2 months. And our 7th month later, I felt so good that, it's one of those things that I'm done, gone. But that's it. Get rid of stuff that no longer serves or inspires. It's not serving you. If it's not serving you, it's not serving your family and your loved ones. And it's not inspiring you. Like, just get rid of it, bin it, or give it. Okay? It's done wonders for me in terms of like feeling really good about your working environment. Number 3, defining what success looks like. That was a big one, which I thought I had a handle on that, but deep down, defining what success looks like is, family value of being family and being around for my 3 little ones. I don't want to give up work, and I don't want to give up not being there. Like, I had the most beautiful morning taking kids to school, for example. So success for me at the moment means being able to make the lunches and being able to be there for my kids when they need me, and every day, every morning, wear, as much as I can, and also be doing what I love and makes my heart sing and makes me feel like I'm contributing to the world. Okay, so many women and men and people from around the world have proven time and time again that everything is doable, just not at the same time, unless you're live broadcasting at the same time. That is another story. That's what we're experimenting with here. So define what success looks like for you, and then work backwards from that. Start with one critical goal and then work back from that. What is success for me and my family? Not for the person next door, not for the person across the road, not for the big, famous marketer and entrepreneur that I admire and think, oh, I want to have what he has. But, what is it that I want and what works for us? That was the third thing that made a world of difference. Now, when you work for yourself and productivity, especially when you don't have someone that you're accountable to, or you don't have someone that is watching over you or you have to report to, you can easily slip. So I have made myself accountable to, myself accountable to someone, and that is my schedule. So I spend a good 1 hour. Last Sunday it was 2 hours. I spent 2 hours redefining and looking at my calendar. What does my week look like? And scheduled absolutely everything. There's not a minute in my calendar week by week that is not accounted for. So I'm accountable now to my schedule. My schedule is my king. If I didn't have this, and it was funny, yesterday I had it in my schedule that I'll do at 10 o'clock. And I, because it was the first one, by the time I got myself all pumped to do it, it came around at like 11. But as soon as I said I'll be here tomorrow at 10 o'clock, it changed the game again. I made a public commitment and said I have to be there. And sometimes, unfortunately, it's human nature. We will let ourselves down, but we won't let others down. So that's been really important. The other thing that I've scheduled is a really strong morning routine. So I need exercise. I need to move, and I need it regularly. But when things get busy, it's another thing. It's the first thing to drop off. So having a real solid morning routine in the schedule where, okay, if I don't get it done in the morning before the family rises for their day, I've lost the opportunity. So becoming very, very committed to my routine of exercise and health and well-being has been a critical factor in making a really good, great, continuous progress throughout the rest of the day. And number 5, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. That is definitely something that, just doing what you're kind of a bit scared about. Another thing, my mentors, many, I'm sure you're the same. If you're even attracted to come on and watch anything about productivity, you are someone that values, being at your best, values excellence, something that has been told time and time again. The minute you feel uncomfortable about something, that's the critical key factor that's exactly what you're meant to be doing. And just doing these live broadcasts, having those nerves and saying, and then I went into that sabotaging mode, which, you got to kick that in the head. I ended up, I knew that's what I had to do for many reasons, but I'll be able to share more on Friday, I think, when I've done 5 days of these, to see how much live broadcasting has in fact moved the needle, and and what it's done for each, or what I've learned, because that's what it is. You do these things to then pass on what you've learnt about. So there you go, 5 things. I have had some connection issues today, which is really, really annoying. Thank you for the love. That's nice of you. Someone's loving. That is, I really appreciate that. What's your name? That is so nice of you to get some feedback. So the 5 things 5 tips to increase your productivity. Charlie! It's Charlie! Hey! Charlie, I am here testing, experimenting with live broadcasting on all 4 different channels. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Periscope. So it's a bit of an experiment to see how we can do all of this at the same time. And today I've just spoken about what I've learned as Charlie. Oh, thank you for that. That's awesome. And I got these lights ages ago when we were meeting regularly together. So I hope they don't look too bad as well. But thank you for that. Awesome. So I've just come full swing, Charlie, just sharing. I've just shared what I have found has really elevated and helped my productivity when working alone. So to summarize, reconnect with the core of what makes you hardcore, okay? Reconnect with the core of what makes you hardcore. What gives you fun, what gives you joy, what are you good at, what are your strengths, and keep doing that. Because I lost my funk for a while there, and there's nothing that feels good about it. So we've got to reconnect with the core, with what makes us hardcore. Getting rid of stuff that no longer serves or inspires you. So get rid of stuff, not only stuff, but get rid of things that you ingest that no longer serve or inspire you to make you feel good. I'm no health, kind of nutritionist, but just speaking from just cutting something like alcohol I just can't believe the difference it's made to my energy and productivity and the way I get up in the morning, which I love the feeling, and that's what's kept me not going back to it for the last 7 months. Defining what success looks like for you, and for you only, because we can get a lot of envy and a lot of self-doubt when you see I could never be as good as her or him, but defining what it looks like for you, because how do you want this business and life to kind of carry out, and then work back from that. Make it about you first, what's success, because it's not the same for everyone. Schedule everything. If it's not scheduled, I found when it comes to productivity, if it's not scheduled, it's not real. Scheduling it just makes it real and keeps you accountable, especially when you're flying solo and you kind of don't have anyone to report to. Putting it in your calendar just keeps you moving along nicely. And last but not least, get comfortable with being uncomfortable and just take action and just do one thing. Don't get overwhelmed with the big thing that you have to do. Just do one thing that'll take you one step closer. Okay, so just do one thing and get comfortable with being uncomfortable. That's just a really good catalyst for embracing change. And when you're feeling uncomfortable about doing something, that's exactly where you're meant to be. Don't freak out about it. Just think, this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing. This is growth. When I get the butterflies, I know I'm at a pivotal point where I'm taking something to the next level. That's a wrap today for my 5 tips of productivity when you work alone. Let me know in the comments, was this helpful? Did you enjoy the live broadcast? Or if you haven't caught it on the live broadcast and you've watched a replay, thank you. Give me a comment if this has been helpful and if there's any other thing that you would add that you do that we could all learn from. I would really appreciate it. So Periscope has dropped off. I'll have to see experimentation in the nation here of my live broadcasting extravaganza. I've had some drop-offs because of the Wi-Fi connection not being strong enough. I've never had issues with Wi-Fi connection, but it seems that with live broadcasting it's a different ball game. So I'll have to do some more research to make tomorrow, same time, same place, 10 o'clock, train of consistency, to make it a little bit more pleasurable for you and for me. So have yourself a wonderful day, and I wish you, I'll see you tomorrow. Here's to your excellence. Oh, I almost forgot. I want to see you off with a quote. Oh, one of my favorites. Ready? People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel. I hope I've made you feel good. And I hope you can go and make whoever you're in contact with feel good. Go and do yourself a live broadcast, and we can do it all together. Okay, here's to your excellence, guys. Bye.